Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafting with Jeanine. Today I'm going to show you how to make these super cute ribbon bows. They're really easy and cute and versatile in what you can do with them. So this one here is slightly different than this one. They're both made with 1.5" ribbon. This one here, the only difference is it has 2 layers, like a front and then a back, and then the middle piece here. This one here, I tried a little something different with it, and I just did just the one with the middle piece, and I kind of like them both. It's really up to you which way you like to do them. This one here is just doing the single piece with the 7/8 inch ribbon, and I really like that one. I think it comes out super cute. For today, I'm going to show you how to do this one with the single. But doing the double is the same way. It's just you have the 2 pieces of ribbon instead of 1 piece of ribbon. But it's all the same. So, for that, you're going to need 2 pieces cut to 10 inches long. And then 2 pieces of coordinating print or whatever cut to 5 inches long. Now, I'm doing this with a print, but you can do it with a solid like I did here. And it doesn't really matter, but I want to do it with the print today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. For this, what I like to do is I'm going to fold it in half like this, and I'm going to get a good crease right here. And all this crease is going to do is just give me the middle, basically. So now I have my crease there. So I take one of my 5-inch pieces. Now if you're doing a print, you're going to want to make sure you place it down, face down, or else it won't come out right. But for what I do is I fold it in half like this. And if I'm doing a print, I have my print on the outside. And I give it a crease there. And what this does is this gives me the middle of this, so when I go to line them up, it's going to be exactly in the middle and everything lines up perfectly. And just to make sure it stays in place, I put a little blob of hot glue here and here. You can use a fabric tack or another type of glue. I don't put the glue all the way across the top because hot glue, as you know, gets stiff, so you can't fold with it. But I just put 2 little dots just to hold that in place so it doesn't move on me. So, excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and start my folds, which I'm going to take this piece here and fold it to the middle. And then I'm going to take this piece here and fold it to the middle. I'm going to hold them in place with one hand. And then I'm going to make sure that these 2 here are relatively even with each other. So I've got them like that. And I got them to where I pretty much want them. So now I picked them up and just make sure everything stayed in place where I want it here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pin and I'm just going to come up from the back here and over. And what this is going to do is just ensure that everything stays where I folded it and where I want it. And for this step, what I've seen others do is others have sewn just a couple of stitches right here. I figured that I'm like doing it this way better than that way, so I just take these 2 tabs and fold them up and find out where it meets here on my centerpiece, and then I'm going to take a little blob of glue there and then just push them down into it. And all I'm doing is ensuring that it's tacked, because when you go to fold it, if you don't tack it down, these 2 pieces will pull apart and it'll separate and it won't hold your shape, the folds of your bow, the way you want it if you don't tack this down in some way so that these 2 don't spread apart when you go to fold it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this corner and we're going to fold it up this way. So what you have is this looking at you. So, just make sure everything didn't move and everything's in place. So then you can use an alligator clip or whatever kind of clip. I have these little miniature clips here. And I'm just going to use that just to hold it in place while I do my first set of stitches. And what we're going to do is we're going to go weave up and down 6 times so that we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what we're going for is 3 of these little humps right here. So it's 1, 2, and 3. And that's what we want. And then we pull our needle through. And as always, I'm using upholstery thread because it's nice and sturdy. So then now that I've got that, I'm going to take my clip off. And I'm not going to put this through here. So I don't want it attached to here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through here at the point and go through it. Like this. And not attach it to there, but we're connected with the thread in the middle. So now that I've done that, I could take my pin out. And then I'm going to do the same 6 stitches on this side. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that. And then we're just going to pull it tight, cinch it tight to the middle. Pull everything in. Just like that. And then you're going to hold it tight here. And we're going to run our needle through. Back through it all. Just to ensure that it stays together. So like that. And then we're going to give it a tie off. I'm going to give it 2 knots. You can give 1 if you're comfortable with 1. I don't want it to come apart, so I'm going to give it 2. Okay. So this is what we have after that. And we're going to make 2 of these. That's why we have the cuts. So I'm going to snip here. And then what I like to do, and for those of you who use wood burners to seal your ends and cut your ribbon like I do, this is a trick that might work for you, or you can leave it. But what I like to do is I like to take the barrel of my wood burner, and right here on the bottom where everything's creased together is I just take it and I flatten it off. I flatten it down. Because we're going to glue these 2 pieces together. And that just gives a flat piece for it to attach to. So let's go ahead and do the next one. So we fold it in half. Get our good crease there in the middle. So we have our center point. And we're going to do the same thing here. Fold this one in half. Get a good center point there. And then our 2 little blobs of glue. And we just place that in the middle. And we make our folds without all the strings. So, there's 1. There's 2. And now, I lost it. There we go. Now, I'm just going to make sure that they line up. This back piece isn't as important as these 2 here to line up exactly. Because it'll be put in place when you stitch anyway. But these 2, you want to be even because you're going to tack them down. And if they're uneven, your stitches will be uneven. So that's good. Make sure everything stays in place and together. And we're going to put our pin through. There we go. And then I'm going to find my middle just to tack it down. go. And now we're going to do the same as before. Fold it up, find the middle, and clip it off just to hold it in place. If you don't need the clip to hold it in place, go ahead. Me, sometimes I just need that extra set of hands, which the clips work as another set of hands just to hold everything so it doesn't shift as I'm doing what I'm doing. So there's that part. And then we go through again. And take our pin out. And we cinch everything down. And so we've got this. And now we're going to tie off. I'm going to give it 2 just to make sure it's secure. So now we have our 2 pieces. And I'm going to give this one its little flattened edge. And I'll put a little glue right here. And then I stick my thumbs in these little points here. Kind of just gives me a place to grip it and hold it. I'm gonna hold it there for a few seconds just so the glue dries. Hot glue dries pretty quickly, but we don't want it to fall apart on us as we're wrapping, so I'm just gonna hold it there. And so we've got that, and then we're gonna use, for this size, I'm going to use 5/8 inch wide ribbon for the center wrap. And I don't have a measurement of how long because I'll wrap it around a time or two just to make sure it's wrapped and it's secured and all that. So I just hold on to it and wrap it and then snip it where I want to snip it. So I'm going to put some glue back here on the back side. And then take my ribbon. Hold that there for a second. And then start wrapping it around. This one doesn't have to be super, super tight. So then, I'm just going to give it a little snip. Seal off that end so we don't get any fraying. And give some glue. And there we have it. And from here you can put your clip of choice on there, whether you prefer an alligator clip or a French clip. Whichever one you prefer. But there's the bow. See, so simple, so easy, and kind of fun to make. I kind of like them. Like I said, I really like the small 7/8 inch ones. And I will put the measurements for both of them down in the description below, along with a link to my Facebook page where you can come and connect and ask questions and see other videos and all that other stuff. And so there we have the 2 different sizes. So cute. So pretty. So I'm calling these ribbon bows, but you can call them whatever you like. And please hit that thumbs up button. We like to see the thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. And hit thumbs up and subscribe. And you guys have a happy day crafting.